Okay, I'm gonna show you how I make padded sticks for training in the Filipino martial arts, or even heck, whatever weapon art that you are studying or choose to partake in. So what I have here is a pair of rattan sticks. They are, and again, rattan is porous, not hollow like bamboo. It's a vine, not a grass. Bamboo is a species of grass, and this is actually a vine that is straightened. And they're very durable, and they fray or come apart because of them being porous. Then they actually will snap and break like bamboo would, or even something a hardwood, regular wood does, which creates a safety issue when you're training in it and you have a stick break on you. It's not a good thing. Bad things can happen. So rattan is a preferred training tool in the Filipino martial arts. I'm using here, I think these are 5/8 diameter or across to a 1/2 inch across. So they're smaller sticks. And the purpose for this is we're going to use this as a core. And we have some 1/2 inch, what is this called? Pipe insulators. You can get this at the hardware store. Relatively cheap, like $3. And I've already cut a length in half. It comes pretty long, and you can get two out of one. And then I've got some Gorilla Tape or duct tape. Duct tape works. This tape works. That's how we're going to wrap it all together. And optionally, I've got this foil repair, which is really kind of I'm not even sure what they use this for. I think it's for when you're fitting pipes together and you don't want to weld, not even pipes, but aluminum air ducts tubes, and you want to tape them together and have it look right. I think this is what they use that for, but this is optional. It's just decorative. So what I do is I go ahead and I take my pipe insulator foam here, and I cut it to length and about a 1/2 inch on each end. Okay, because and then the pipe, the fitting that you want to buy are the ones that are split. Some of them are split and have adhesive tape, and so that you can seal them together. So either one works just fine. So you just basically open this up, and you just pop your stick in there in the middle, and your stick is going to be your core. Real quick and easy. This is not a very difficult piece of training equipment to make. So I'm going to push this and make sure this in the middle. So I have my 1/2 inch of allowance on each side here. So again, this is now it's a padded stick, so you can hit pretty hard and it doesn't really hurt. All right, so you can do some really very realistic training once this is all set and done. But we got to seal it and tape it. Okay, so what I do, I'm gonna open up my tape here. All right, so as a side note, I was able to put the core into the other foam here, the rattan into the other foam here, and so it was about 31 inches each, so 62 inches plus, it looks like, 5, maybe 6, 7 inches here left, right? And this is an opportunity to make a training palm stick for a lisi palad, or a training dagger, a foam training dagger for knife sparring or different knife techniques. And the important thing is to make sure that you do pad the ends fairly well, because there's a lot of thrusting in knife techniques. So you just don't discard this the rough end, because you can make shorter training tools with this as well. All right, so I'm splicing this in. I had a technical malfunction, and so I'm gonna start kind of from the beginning. So in order to make our padded sticks, once you have our stick inserted to our foam insulation here, you want to seal the ends. You want at least a 1/2 inch of an allowance with inside from the edge to your stick to provide some protection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a duct tape, and I'm just going to attach the duct tape on the sides here, and then kind of fold this over and stick it over like so, okay? And then I want to take the other side and do the same thing. So I'm going to make a crisscross like this. So, and then I'm going to flip it over this way, and then I want to attach it. So what this will do is it'll create a buffer for thrusts. So you're not, with your training partner, you're not hitting them with the actual stick, which would be dangerous. You do some damage, but this is going to provide some buffer. So again, on the other side, I'm going to take a piece of tape here and attach one side, and then fold it over to the other side like so. Then I want to take the other side here, and then on the opposite end, or the perpendicular from the first one, I'm going to take this and cross it over and attach it. This is very good duct tape. That's why I get the good stuff, because it's got a lot of tack to it. It's really strong. And then this will provide some buffer. And then we'll just wrap our duct tape from here. Okay, so I've begun to wrap this around. I'm going to take another length here and peel off my tape here. I want to get a nice little bit of a length, so I can go ahead and stretch that down and attach this to where I last left off, and then you just start to wind around. That's all it is to it. Not very difficult. And these last pretty good. These last pretty well for training. Over time, the sticks may break inside, depending on how hard you're training with them. But it's relatively cheap to make these. The duct tape, a spool of duct tape, or Gorilla Tape or whatever, is going to cost you about 10 bucks. The foam, depending on where you go, going to cost you about 3 bucks for a length. That'll make you two 30-inch sticks, 31-inch sticks, with the half-inch allowance on each side, each end. And the rattan core is depending on the price that you purchased your rattan from. So anywhere between 6 to 8 bucks. And then we can kind of almost, I'm out of frame here, sorry. Go ahead and rip that off, finish it off. But there it is, okay, and it's these. I use these all the time. They do wear out over time, but like I said, it's relatively cheap to make these. So once the foam gets too squishy from the use of it, you can reinforce it with more duct tape, or you can make another pair. The thing is that the foam does wear out over time, so it gets thin, and it usually wears out before the rattan core does. So it's like you start to feel the stick more than you feel the pad. That's when it's time to replace the foam. You can probably just take an X-Acto blade and cut it open, reuse the stick, put new foam around it, new duct tape around it, and you're good to go. So that's essentially it. And so I'm gonna go ahead and make the other one, make its sister stick. All right, so here we go. These are two new foam padded sticks with rattan cores. Totally don't hurt. You can smack pretty good, take a hit, and you're not gonna be injured. This is a nice, cheap, and easy way to make your own training equipment for Filipino martial arts or any other weapons-based art. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to embellish this a little bit with some of this aluminum tape. And what I like to do with this is to take a length of it, and it's got an adhesive back to it. And you end up having to split it down the middle because it's kind of thick. I mean, you can have it as thick as you want. I mean, that's up to you, but I prefer my strips a little bit thinner. And then I need 4 of those. So I'm gonna take these and kind of make them that long and then split them down the middle. And now what we're gonna do is take the backs off and wrap them around the edge or the ends of our stick for a decorative touch. So it'll start to look like this. You don't have to do this, but I'm just throwing that out there for those people that like that little bit of flair to their training tools. Basically just take the back off here, and this is basically, it's aluminum, so it's metal. So just take this here, and then I can kind of peel as I go and adjust this accordingly all the way around. Make sure it doesn't spin on me, so I can meet the other side evenly. That didn't happen. So we're gonna do that. Okay. So just real quick and dirty, nothing too fancy, but that's just to kind of give you a little bit of flair for your training foam padded sticks.